Hi, I'm Andrea Cohen from the Oklahoman, joined by Scott Wright. We're here at Texas Memorial Stadium, where we just saw Oklahoma State fall 28-24 to Texas. Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the keys to the game?
Well, there were a few big plays on Oklahoma State's side of the ball. First of all, they fumble going into the red zone. Kendall Hunter coughs one up, and Texas gets the ball, is able to turn it into a 90-yard touchdown drive and take a 2-touchdown lead at that point. That was a big momentum swing, got Oklahoma State in a little bit of a hole. Then in the second half, they're making a little bit of a run, and Parrish Cox comes up with an interception, but Andre Sexton gets called for roughing the passer, nullifies the interception. Texas goes in and scores there. And then you had a couple other situations late in the game where Oklahoma State can't convert on a fourth down when they're trying to they have a chance to put a good drive together and actually go ahead. And then of course the failed Hail Mary on the final play of the game.
In a game like this, where it's obvious, you're playing the number one team in the country, it seems like there's going to be a couple of key plays like that. But it also seemed like Oklahoma State was also scoring a whole bunch, and it's strange that this game that had so much offense, nobody reached 30 points. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of what happened?
Yeah, it was really strange because you felt like both offenses were going up and down the field at will. Obviously, Oklahoma State had to settle for that field goal late in the game when they were getting near the red zone, and the field goal that made it 28-24. Rather than get a touchdown, they had to settle for that field goal. But it just didn't feel like there were a lot of drives like that. There were a couple of turnovers for Texas. Oklahoma State had to punt a couple of times, but for the most part, you felt like both offenses were pretty much doing whatever they wanted. But it didn't show up on the scoreboard.
Talking to players after the game, what was your feeling? How did this compare to some of the other losses to Texas in recent years?
Well, you know what? I think that this one was just as tough, but for really different reasons. This is a game that they thought they could win. It wasn't a game that they had a big lead to a team that they weren't really supposed to beat and blew it. But it was a team that when you're on this type of stage against the number one team in the country and you have your opportunities to win a game, it's a really hard loss to take. And this is one that they're going to have to forget about this because Iowa State comes into Stillwater on Saturday, and that's exactly the kind of game that you could get
too emotional about.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week after Iowa State.